Tesla and SpaceX could be merging under one company soon. And although it has not been official, rumors have been circulating for some time now. Even though Elon Musk has dismissed rumors, people are not buying it because the idea of two companies merging just makes a lot of sense. The benefits are there. The merger will lower costs by combining AI chips, data centers, manufacturing, and supplies. Starlink could connect to Tesla vehicles, robots, chargers, and energy systems, giving SpaceX more customers. Also, combining Tesla and SpaceX likely wouldn't face major antitrust law issues because there is limited direct horizon overlap. What that means is they operate in a very different market and have very few similarities. But before getting too excited, I will explain that it might not be a simple hassle-free process and the merger might actually hurt some shareholders. First, if the deal does happen, we need to take a look at the structure. If Tesla were to buy SpaceX, they would have to print somewhere between 4.3 and 5.2 billion new shares. Tesla currently has about 3.95 billion shares outstanding. So you're more than doubling the share count. You're issuing more new stock than the entire company currently has. And on top of that, you're dragging classified defense programs into a company with factories and supplies spread across the planet, and that includes China too. As for option 2, SpaceX could buy Tesla. Technically cleaner on paper since SpaceX is the bigger company by market value. But now the Tesla ticker just goes away. And Tesla shareholders probably get handed stock with weaker voting rights than what they got today. If you're a big holder of Tesla, that's an instant no. So both obvious answers are not ideal. Which brings us to what could occur if the deal does happen. The structure that could plausibly survive is a brand new holding company that sits on top of both companies instead of mashing them together. Tesla's vehicles, energy autonomy, and China operation would remain in one subsidiary. SpaceX's launch, Starlink, defense, spectrum, and classified program would remain in another. The reason why this structure would be better is that the government contracts and foreign access would have to remain segregated. A direct merger that exposes SpaceX technology or classified work to Tesla's global organization would be much harder to approve and operate. So a new holding company would be the most workable design. But most workable is not the same as good for shareholders. So I want to walk through specifically what a shareholder could face. In 2025, Tesla made $3.79 billion in profit that belonged to regular shareholders. SpaceX in the same year lost $4.94 billion. Put those together and the combined company starts about $1.15 billion in whole. I've read from some analysts that think that this deal will save them a lot of money, which is true. Whenever two companies merge, there are tons of savings due to shared suppliers. Now say they save about $3 billion a year. Taxes take about a quarter, so you keep $2.25 billion. Subtract that from the loss we just talked about, and you got about maybe $1.1 billion in profit. Now divide that by roughly 8 to 9 billion shares. That's about a dime a share. It's really not that much, so the argument for this deal cannot be cost savings. There are also issues shareholders will face in the long term. The new company will be valued lower. When one company owns two unrelated businesses, the market values the bundle below the sum of the parts. Auto analysts can't evaluate rockets, and aerospace analysts can't evaluate cars. Shareholders lose control over which division gets the cash. This is called the conglomerate discount. The value of combined Tesla SpaceX will be less than the two companies are worth separately. The new holding would be much more complex. When you combine electric vehicles, AI, energy, rockets, satellites, and defense under one company. There's concerns that Tesla's cash will be used to fund SpaceX's much more expensive long-term projects, while SpaceX's super voting shares could reduce Tesla's shareholders' influence. We can assume a $225 billion conglomerate and governance discount in valuation. So the $225 billion discount does not mean there's a $225 billion loss for Tesla shareholders. It reduces the value of the entire combined company. There are also concerns that money will get pulled towards space projects. Rockets, satellites, AI data centers, robotaxis, car factories, batteries, robots, they're all fighting over the same pot of cash. The worry is the flashy SpaceX and AI projects get funded while Tesla projects get less. Nobody in the company will announce that. You notice it 3 years later in the delivery numbers. The best case scenario for Tesla shareholders is that the merger creates significant long term value through AI, Starlink, and capital allocation synergies while avoiding large conglomerate discount. In this best case scenario, the combined company is valued at $3.3 trillion. Tesla shareholders negotiate a favorable 48% ownership stake, and each current Tesla share is worth about $401, a gain of roughly 29% from today's prices. There needs to be a successful integration and limited regulatory disruptions. The value created by the merger needs to be greater than any governance or complexity concerns. If you enjoyed this video going over the possible Tesla SpaceX merger, make sure to subscribe and check out my other stock related videos. Until next time, goodbye.